Although we still don't have a release date, some new images for Josh Boone's The New Mutants have made their way online. Let's break them down. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we got a little update on The New Mutants. But first, we wanted to remind everybody, if you're looking for your place for all your comic book news, rumors, and reviews, all while looking for the good and positive in the characters we love, make sure you hit that like button and press subscribe. Well, we've all been sitting around waiting for some sort of release information for Josh Boone's The New Mutants, the redheaded stepchild of Marvel movies. After multiple delays for reshoots, a studio getting sold, and a release date getting cancelled, we're now all sitting around wondering if it's going to hit video on demand. Unfortunately, an existing deal between Disney-owned Fox and HBO means it's unlikely to hit Disney+. And when movies finally start dropping at the end of the year, it's going to be awfully crowded. So it's not looking great for this film. Either way, some really interesting new images have popped up online, and many of these are really spoilerish, and raise a few interesting questions. But let's save those questions for the end. But let's check out the images. The first image is of Magic, and it looks like she's headed into Limbo. Now, Limbo wasn't necessarily expected to be seen in this movie, but clearly she's headed there. This does beg the question of, if she could go to Limbo, why didn't she just leave the school? But hopefully that'll be answered in the film. We'll see a little more Limbo in just a second. This next shot is of the Demon Bear and what appears to be Dani Moonstar. Now in the comic books, the bear is a specter who has been pursuing Dani and her family for a really long time. It's going to be pretty interesting how much of the history between Dani and the Demon Bear from the comics makes its way into this movie. Hopefully quite a bit, because the mythology is pretty neat. The next image is actually in Limbo again, and this time it's Magic squaring off against the Demon Bear. This very much looks like it could be the climactic scene of the movie, and a pretty interesting image to release. We'll talk a little bit more about this image in just a second. Now, the final two images are of this creepy sort of character that we have no idea who it is. It basically is some creature with no eyes and a giant mouth. There's the first one. And there's the other one. Now, this isn't a character from the comic books, but clearly Josh Boone was pushing that PG-13 horror as far as he could. Now, some of these images are pretty curious, but the one of Magic fighting the Demon Bear in Limbo raises a couple of questions. This photo kind of looks like a screen cap. There's even some motion blur around Magic. So is this actually stills from the movie released by the studio, or are these stills from somebody who has a reviewer or early copy of the film? If early review copies have made their way to some critics, this means a release could be imminent, and makes me wonder if this might be one of the very first films to drop when theaters open. We really don't have any information to that, but let's keep our eyes open, and if anybody hears anything, make sure you hit me up here on YouTube. So what do you guys think of these new images for New Mutants? And do you think this will be one of the first movies to hit theaters when they open back up, or is this headed to video on demand or directly to HBO? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.